All right, guys, welcome to another live stream on the Team Buffalo Outdoors YouTube channel. My name is Travis, and today we're going to be going over the 5 best days. And I brought out the whiteboard for this one. 5 best days to hunt the rut in November. So bear with me with my handwriting, and I got some cleaning wipes. These come in handy. But anyways, this is considered the Super Bowl for hunters, because this is where the mating season, where your trophy buck is going to be most active, where you're probably, besides early season, and we have the Erna buck in New Jersey, where you're going to see that or get an opportunity to harvest your trophy animal, your trophy game, and it's just magic in the woods. And so the rut, if you haven't known, it's not 100%. Humans have not figured out an exact science. You have the people on it falls on the same date depending on where you live, plus or minus one day every single year. And then you have the moon phase. Okay, the moon phase. And the moon phase hunters, like Drury Outdoors, a couple other people, other big game hunters, they believe that depending on when the harvest moon, which is in October, falls on, and when the November moon falls on, that determines how the rut's going to be. So the moon in October, so I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to show my screen. The moon in October, let's go October. So the full moon in October was the 7th. Actually, no, that's 2025. My bad. No, we want to go back. It was the 15th. I remember it like yesterday. It was the 15th. So the full moon in November is the 16th. And they say the full moon and the harvest moon is going to kick off. It's going to kick off the rut. So where do I fall on belief on that? I'm a little bit, so when you compare it to the other people, the other camp, they believe that this is scientific. These are more biologists. They fall on, hey, the does are dropping this time of the year, in late April, early May, whatever. And it's different. It's different all over the country. The north, it's going to be a little bit more exemplified, because in a biological factor, the does can't drop. I mean, the fawns can't drop late, because if they do, then their chances of survival are going to be small, or a lot smaller. So, anyways, if you go by the moon, they say we're going to have a bifurcated rut, which means there's going to be two peaks. Anyways, from my experience, the rut goes into 5 phases, and I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna actually draw it out like a graph, and I'm gonna draw it like a mountain. It's like a mountain. So right now it's November 1st, and I say we're in the seeking phase. And seeking, some call this the pre-rut. Anything before lockdown, some people call the pre-rut. I consider the true pre-rut, the actual pre-rut that I call pre-rut, the October period, where bucks are marking their territory. They're making those scrapes. You're going to start seeing those rubs, and that's when you want to hunt those. But the seeking phase is when you want to hunt those rubs or those scrapes in the morning. So we're in the seeking phase right now. As you can see here, it's ramping up. It's ramping up. And I'll put right on the bottom pre-rut. Might need another marker really quick. That's why you always have extras. You always have spares. And if you see, I'm not using a mic. My mic went kaput the other day. So I'm using this. This is a good backup. Here we go. Pre-rut. Seeking. Okay, so you can read this better now. You have pre-rut, seeking. I'm going to leave this here because it's important, and I'm gonna go over it. So the first day that you want to hunt, the absolute first day you want to hunt this November that I suggest to go out in the woods is tomorrow, November 2nd, and I'm going to tell you why. One is the conditions. Now the conditions, stand by 1 second. We got November 2nd here. Let's do a Google search. Weather, New Jersey. So if you see that, you go from Friday to Saturday, the low is a 10-degree drop. That's a big difference. Anytime you get a big difference in temperature in a dropping phase, it's going to be good for deer movement in daylight. So it's going to get them on their feet, and that's what you want. So you got the weather conditions. The second reason why I'm going to say is the moon. Well, look what we got tomorrow. Look what we got tomorrow. We got it right here. The new moon. New moon is, from my experience, great for morning hunting. So tomorrow, November 2nd, definitely try to make it out to the morning. I know it's 8:45. See if you get to bed right after this right after we wrap up here. But when it comes to the seeking phase, these are where you want those all-day sits. Okay, from my experience, bucks tend to move in the later afternoons, the 9:45, the 10:15, the 11 o'clock. They're seeking. They're looking for those. I still think I still think scrapes are still going to be a factor tomorrow. So hunt those scrapes. If you know a good rub line, hunt the rub line in the afternoon. But it's definitely a day that I recommend to go out in the woods. Now I'm going to give you another day. And this is kind of obvious, and I know a lot of people are going out hunting this day. And I still think this is the tail end of the seeking phase. I'm going to write this down here. I'm going to write this down here. What does that say there? November 5th. And if you don't know what November 5th is, I don't know if you checked your calendar. But let's go back. Let's go back to the calendar. On November 5th, 3rd, 4th. It's election day. So I know a lot of people have off on election day. And you don't want to just go out because you have off. You want to hunt when you should and not when you can if you have that luxury. Okay? Well, a lot of people can hunt on November 5th, but it's also a day that you should hunt on November 5th. I'm going to tell you why. It's the tail end of the seeking phase, but I think this is where the rubs are going to actually turn cold. This is where they're going to be in transition from the seeking phase. We're going to go to the tippy top here. This is chasing. The chasing phase. And that is really going up. So we're starting to get into that transition. We're up here. I'm going to say November 5th is right here. We're almost up at the mountaintop here. This is November 5th. And the conditions, let's check the weather. Let's check the weather. What is November 5th going to be? It's going to be a little bit warmer. But that's okay, because guess what? Guess what? When it comes to the rut trumps all other factors. The days of the rut trumps all other factors. Conditions, the moon, the front, the weather, they take a back seat. These are historical days. Now the moon, that doesn't mean that they don't play a factor. Okay, now we're looking at that moon. Okay, let's look at that moon. November 5th is a waxing crescent. And so that's still going to be good morning hunting from my experience. And really, morning hunting when it comes to the moon, all the way up to the first quarter, has been really good. But you still want to hunt all day. And when we talk about seeking, they're going to be fat. You know, they're going to be moving pretty quick this time. I still wouldn't be too aggressive going into doe beds just yet. I'd still be hunting. I'd probably go in a heavy transition area, maybe from a buck bedding source to food in the afternoon. Or in the morning, I would try to do maybe still some of that territorial stuff in the morning. Rackgetter has some great products. The Hunt the Rut, which is the doe estrus. They have they came out with this new platinum thing, and it's pretty. I talked to Gerard, and he told me it's mixed with doe estrus and it's all synthetic. To be legal in the state of New Jersey, but also doe urine, and he swears by the product. But I'm just gonna go to Rackgetter, Scents and Wars, and I'm gonna show you some of their products here. Now you see these gels. They got the Climax, which is a great scrape. If you have that Climax, or if you get it, a store, put that in the scrape. It lasts a few days. It lasts longer than the spray. And then put a little pre-orbital on the licking branch, or use their rack rope if you don't have a licking branch in your mock scrape. So anyways, November 5th, make sure you go out and vote. If you haven't pre-voted before, if you haven't did early voting yet, go out, vote in the morning, and then go hunt the afternoon. I would say heavy travel, buck travel corridor, any heavy runs that and it's a great time to be out in the woods. This is the tail end of the seeking phase. Now, okay, and now stand by 1 second. we're going to go with a new date. The next date, this is the start of the chasing phase. My experience, November 8th. It's number 3. You got to be out there. You got to be out there November 8th. And stand by 1 second. Yeah, you gotta be out November 8th. And I'm going to tell you why. Chasing, that's when bucks want to get actually on a doe. They actually want to get, you're going to actually see does. Now, they're not going to be in estrus just yet. They shouldn't. I would say maybe about 10% are going to come into estrus. They're going to start lifting their tail. So, still 90%. You know, they're not going to be ready to be bred, but this is when bucks are really, they're at their peak. And this is, you see, this is the mountaintop. This is the mountaintop right here. You need to be out there. That's all I could say. So let's go with the 4th day. The 4th day is still part of this chasing phase, but this is where, if you don't get a deer this day, this is it. This is it. Like, your chances of getting a deer are going to plummet. They're going to go down. They're going to go way, way, way down. And it's going to be November 12th. I say you're here. This is the 12th. Right there. That's the 12th. You're about to go right down the roller coaster. November 12th is going to be the tail end of the chasing phase, from my experience. And you could even go back to that moon phase calendar, really go back to it. So, okay, you go back to the moon phase calendar. The 8th is to the 9th. That's that first quarter. And then you're the 12th, you're at that waxing gibbous. And you're about to be at that full moon on the 16th. Right here. Right there's that full moon. And let me tell you something. From my experience, the 12th to the 13th is like night and day. It's the 13th to the 19th is that lockdown. I'm going to put that down. Here's lockdown. Or some people call it the peak rut. The peak rut. But I don't call it. It's the peak rut is actually down the mountain. We're talking about deer activity. It's more lockdown. This is where, once you get past the 12th, I truly believe in the state of New Jersey, in the Northeast area, the does, you get past that 50 percentile in estrus. So, and that's where you're going to go into the woods just turned dead. But anyways, let's go back to the 12th. We're not talking about the 13th to the 19th. I have a recording of a buck actually mounting a doe in person. Saw it with my own 2 eyes. Uncle John, buck mounting a doe on the 19th. The 12th is going to be that last hoorah day. And this is where I'd actually be aggressive and get into doe bedding. I'd hunt the afternoon in doe bedding. And I'd watch the magic. Any day between the 8th and the 12th, definitely go out there, hunt the chasing phase. But I'd have picked 2 days, be the 8th and the 12th of those 2 phases, just because you got that transition. I believe the 8th is the start of the chasing, and then I believe the 8th is the start of the chasing, and then you got the 12th, which is going to be the tail end of that chasing phase. Usually it's about 4 to 5 days per phase. And then you're going to get into that lockdown period, and trust me, you're not going to want to hunt. It's rough. If you do hunt, these are all-day sits, maybe a 12 to 2, a 10 to 2. You might have a buck cruising looking for another one. You never know out in the woods, but these are going to be low-odds hunts. You don't want to hunt low-odds hunts if you're, if you have limited time out or whatnot. So right now we got 4 days. And we're going to have a 5th day, which is going to be in the post-rut. But let's recap those first 4 days. The first day was November 2nd. That is tomorrow. That is going to be the new moon. You want to hunt the morning. You want to hunt the afternoon. You want to do the whole day. And the stars just align. You have the moon. You have the weather. You have, which I believe the primo seeking phase. It's really bucks are going to be on their feet looking around. You have territory. You have probably have the most options, and I believe the pressure isn't as bad as it is going to be in 2 weeks. So I think that's very important to actually understand. My second day is election day, November 5th. You have the time continuum. Just make sure you go out and vote. I try going to keep politics out of this channel. That's a big policy that we have, but we know who a lot of our followers and the people are in our space, our realm, who they vote for. Just make sure you go out and you have that right. That's the beauty part about our country is we have that right to vote. And usually it's a day off. And it's a great opportunity to hunt, and that's really going to be the tail end of that seeking phase. We're going to be pushing towards that chasing phase. 5th, I think this 6th, I think this is the week that is just like wow. Like if you missed October, if you missed the fall bow period, this is it. The 3rd day is going to be November 8th. And that's where, as I had on here, cross this out, that's the chasing phase. That's where, this is the peak. This is where, it's going to be fast, it's going to be moving, and you got to be in a moment's notice. Snap your fingers. Your target buck's going to be like that. I think this is where 10% of the does are going to start turning. You're going to have maybe 1 or 2 coming to estrus at this time. But then you got November 12th, and that's my tail end. That's my tail end of that chasing phase right here. And that's where you want to, if you haven't yet, because you don't want to be spooking. Your biggest enemy during the rut is deer hunting pressure. If you spook your deer, you get them nocturnal, you get especially the does. You want to keep the does around this time of the year. It's your hunting season is going to be probably done. A doe in estrus is like a gold mine. It's going to be like, here comes the ice cream truck. Here comes the ice cream truck. It's a hot summer day, and you're a 5-year-old kid just getting done playing baseball. Okay, you're sweating, playing with your friends, and you want to go get yourself one of those ice cream sandwiches. Hey, who doesn't like ice cream? But I also like backstraps, and I like big racks. And if you want to get on them, you got to be very strategic of how you hunt. And I still think the hunting pressure is number one. You got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. You got to know where you're going to hunt. and that November 12th. I think that's where you got to put those chips. If you haven't harvested your target buck, you haven't punched that tag yet, you go put the chips in. Okay, we're getting right into those beds. We're getting right into that doe bedding. I wouldn't say like actually right on there. Maybe right outside. Maybe right outside. And if you get a hot doe, it's still going to be a high odds hunt, and that's what you want. Again, weather, conditions, everything gets trumped by the time of the year. The rut trumps everything, even 90 degrees in early November, 85 degrees. The rut trumps it. So, which leaves me to day number 5. And I said 5 days, not 4 days. I only gave you 4. I'm going to give you the 5th day. And the 5th day is a post-rut day. Now, like I said before, your odds plummet after November 12th. But we want a post-rut day. I harvested a buck on November 17th. Before, I'm not giving you November 17th. November 16th is the full moon. I think that's a great day too. I really think you need to hunt. You want your target. I'm going to give you actually a bifurcated 5th day. That means I'm going to give you 2 days. I'm going to give you November 16th because it is the full moon. All right, now, hold on. I'm doing the wrong marker again. Silly me. Okay, November 16th. Why? Full moon. For all you moon hunters out there, that last full moon, this is where they're going to say this is the last hurrah. The moon guys are going to say this is going to be that last peak. And I think this is where you're going to hunt that afternoon in a doe bedding. My experience, I think this is going to be a lockdown day. But who knows? Who knows? Like I said, if you believe in the moon, go November 16th. Now, if you're on the biology side, or the other camp that believe in the non-moon, moon has no factor or 0.5% because of light that it provides and reflection. There are photosynthetic. We know that. So are humans. If you don't know, you need light in the morning. That's why you go outdoors. We need some more light in the society, more sunlight. I'm gonna give this day, November. You ready for this one? You ready for this one? I don't think you're ready for this. Because it's the last quarter. It is the last quarter, and if you look at the last quarter, it's going to be that Saturday, going into Thanksgiving, November 24th. This is post-rut. I know a buddy of mine. I know a couple friends of mine harvested some really nice deer this late in November, and it's a post-rut. Listen, they got it on. They did their thing, and now they're looking to go out and get a little greedy. Well, the does are done. Any does who haven't been bred, they're going to go second rut, which is 6-day firearm. And I'm actually going to give you a 6-day firearm date to hunt. I'm going to give you a little bonus day. 5 days to hunt plus a 6-day firearm. Feeling good, feeling generous tonight. So when you want to, with the post-rut, and think about the post-rut, it's kind of like pre-rut, but hey, we're getting ready for round 2. So you got to respect that. So now, food source, water source. Water especially, bucks are going to be thirsty. So if you know a good water source, I would, try to hunt by that. This time, we had this property, and we had this area. It was like swampy area, some puddles in there, and we called it the Bat Cave. And the Bat Cave, my buddy RJ got this 9-pointer called Picasso out of there in late November. It was the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. It was a post-rut buck. And let me tell you something. He got that morning, and the conditions, the stars just aligned. It was 10 degrees in the morning. There was a big temperature drop. And you had post-rut, and you had a buck on his feet looking to pick out another doe in a perfect area. That's hunting. And if you want to be successful, you want your high odds hunt, you got to anticipate where they're going to be. And that was great anticipation by the J-Man. But November 24th is that last quarter, and it's a Saturday. And I think if you haven't harvested your buck yet, your odds are going to go down. But it's been very warm. It's been very warm this October. We've had a drought. Haven't had really any rain. Very little drizzle early this morning, but that's nothing. We're expecting some rainfall next Thursday here. I see it right there. I'll show you right here. Expecting a little rainfall. I mean, yeah, it's far out, but you get some rain, get some puddles going. Get some food out. You're allowed to bait in the state of New Jersey. If you're not allowed to bait, I know some food sources, some crop. You get a corridor. It's great. And I think the PA rifle season is going to be 2 weeks away, which brings me to the second rut. The second rut is 28 days from the first rut, give or take a day or two. And let's look at this calendar. So what we got here, we don't want today. Oh, today is the 1st, we know that. Now let's go all the way to December. I'm going to go December 9th. First day of 6-day firearm. It is a late 6-day firearm. So in the state of New Jersey, this is how the seasons work. Second Saturday of September, early season fall bow starts. The last Sunday of September. Then regular fall bow starts. All zones are open. No more earn a buck. That goes to the last Friday of October. Permit starts. Permit bow. That runs all the way to New Year's. So you have all the way to December 31st to punch that tag. Then you have muzzleloader, permit muzzleloader. That's the Monday. It's a 2-day season starting, and then there's all different days. You got to check your regulations, and it depends on zone. The zones that I've hunted, it's always been the Monday after Thanksgiving. And that's late this year. So everything is late. We had the shortest fall bow season. The late start. The 14th was opening day fall bow. And December 9th is also a late start for 6-day firearm. Now, 6-day firearm, since it's a late start, from my experience, the second rut always started at the tail end of 6-day firearm. It was like mid to Friday. I remember seeing bucks on a doe, and I'm looking at my scope. I couldn't get a shot, and starting this late. December 9th, I think that date was December 12th. But we talked about hunting pressure before. Let me tell you something about hunting pressure. It's the first day of gun season. Once those guns fall off, start firing, especially if you're in a very heavily hunted area, you're gonna see the pressure just rise up. The hunting's gonna get, your odds just plummet and then plummet again. So those are the 5 days plus the 6-day firearm bonus. And where do you want to hunt that 6-day firearm day? In the morning, you want to go all day. I think scrapes are, I think this might be chasing. This might be the November 5th. So whatever you did November 5th, I would go back to that stand here. As long as you're, 450 feet away from a dwelling, wearing your arms and stuff like that. I would definitely, do that. If you're hunting a thick area, I would go with, scatter with buckshot, even slug. But if you're hunting a little bit more open, then I would go with a muzzleloader like night. But this time of the year, it's a little colder. Deer want food. They're run down. They lose about 30-40%. Bucks lose about 30-40% of their body weight. And you're going to want to go, hunt some food source in the afternoon. Those are going to be on them too. So it's going to be, a trifecta. You get the Orange Army, you get all the deer at the food source, but then you also got a rut party. So fire away, but safely. Know your target, what is beyond it. Treat every firearm as loaded, and always point the muzzle in a safe direction, always. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Go knock them out during this rut time. It's just a wonderful time to be out in the woods. Develop a plan. Write down your plan. You see me writing down in the whiteboard. Now this is how it is. It's like peaks and valleys. So I'll give you a quick. What is the second rut? If you want to ask that. If you want to ask that question, what is the second rut? The second rut. This is the first rut. Then that's the second rut. First rut, second rut. It's gonna be a lot quicker. Usually, so how that works is any doe that didn't get bred in the first phase, they're going to come into estrus again. And also, we call them Tinas. Those yearling fawn does, they come into estrus this time and they get bred. The thing is, you don't want a majority of breeding activity go on in the second rut, because then the fawn drop is going to be later in the day and later in the 2025, and it's just the odds of them surviving are a lot lower. But anyways, I got something to show you. So TBO made together a little list, and I'm going to go pull this up for you really quick. Just stand by 1 second. But yeah, we made a excuse me. Yeah, we made a list Stand by. No, that's not it. There we go. Yes, so we made this Amazon list for you guys. These are, you see the MoultrieMobile. We made some fishing gear. We love the pen reels, the pen spin fisher for live lining. Let me play that actually again. Stand by with me 1 second. And we're going to go play that again. There it is. So you see that calming scent, the Primos can. You actually want to use that. November 12th is when you want to use the Primos can. November 8th to November 12th. You get those dough bleeds. Make sure you're but we made a list so you guys don't know what to get. You know, what do I need for a fishing lure, or what do I need to get, you know, dead downwind, or, you know, hunting scent. We recommend dead downwind. We got a package for you to make your shopping so much easier. We put together what we recommend for you to shop. So anyways, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I got to get going. I got to go head up to camp, go get some shut-eye, and I'm going out to tomorrow because, like I said before, let's revisit those days. Let's revisit. I'm going to go write them down right for you on the whiteboard because that's how excited I am to show you this. 1 second. November 2nd. It's the first day. November 5th. Second day, election day. 3rd. November 8th. Right there. You know, that's going to be the chasing phase. November 12th. Tail end of this chasing phase. Odds plummet after this hunt. November 5th, the 5th one. November 16th. Could be the end if it's by furciated. Can't even pronounce the word. By furciated rut. Or November 24th. Going to be that. I can't even write here. November 24th. And then bonus December 9th. Get out there, 6-day firearm. You can hunt bow too. So everyone, thank you for watching. Go get them for this rut. And I really hope that this video helped you out and it gets you on the deer of your dreams and gets you on a wall hanger. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, you share this video to your hunters, you subscribe to our channel. Don't miss out on our next video. Really appreciate it. Let us know in the comments what days you hunt it, and we'll see you on the next.